Hello, welcome to a new video from Where There Teach. I'm Lee, and today we'll be talking about shopping in Japan. Now, there are many different supermarkets in Japan. For example, there's Joyce, Aeon, Big House, and they all have their different pros and cons, pluses and negatives, pros and cons. For example, Joyce has really good vegetables and fresh meats. Aeon has a really good budget line called something Value, similar to Tesco Value or Sainsbury's Basics. But the one I use, the supermarket I use, Big House, Big House is very cheap. Today I went shopping and I'm going to show you a few things I bought. So I bought a nice bag of moyashi. Now, moyashi is bean sprouts in English. These are really, really cheap, only like 20 yen for a pack of these. Tiny wieners! These are really good because they're small. And also, I have to make my own lunch. Some people just make sandwich, but I try and make the Japanese lunchbox, which usually has rice, soup, or sometimes soup, and like a bunch of little things. This is one of those things. Also, these tiny omelets filled with some green and some green. The advantage of these is these can be cooked in the microwave, and you see here, you do some very easy to read instructions, like how much, like the power and how long. Very useful and very handy and very quick. What else? I've got some hakusai, Chinese cabbage, very healthy and very easy to cook, tasty. Some mushrooms. Now, in Japan, there are many different kinds of mushrooms, so you wouldn't really say, hey, do you want to eat this mushroom? You would say something like, hey, do you want to eat this shiitake? Hey, do you want to eat this maitake? Lots of different mushrooms. Tofu. Now, tofu, again, is very cheap and very healthy. This was only 50 yen. Only 50 yen. 50 yen. Only 50 yen for a big block of tofu. And since coming to Japan, I've learned that tofu is 50 yen. Delicious. And you can use it in a bunch of different dishes. Only 50 yen. Bananas. Some bananas. Only 300 yen. So not bad. Slices of pork. And this is only about 300 yen. And also this mince, some mince. This is actually beef and pork mince. Because beef mince is the most expensive mince. Chicken mince is the cheapest mince. It's just funny, I'd never seen chicken mince before I came here, so I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know you could mince a chicken. I also bought some fish. This fish is called sake. It's also known as salmon. Yay! So salmon, so 2 pieces of salmon here, only about 230 yen. Also very cheap, also very healthy, really easy to cook. Like a common Japanese breakfast, you have like rice, miso soup, and maybe some sake. Speaking of breakfast, this is natto. Natto is fermented beans, basically rotting beans. It's quite known for its pungent smell. Have you ever watched a zombie movie and the guy's like, all the flesh is like kind of peeling off and it's like, right? Have you ever wondered what that smells like? I imagine it smells a bit like this. Delicious. What makes these delicious? Now this is a daikon. Daikon in English is a Japanese radish. So yeah, this is a radish. I was quite surprised when I heard that because I'm used to radishes being like about this big. What this is good for is if you slice it, grate it, and you mix it with your natto, put it on rice. It's very refreshing, very delicious, and it takes away some of the zombie smell. So this is like a kind of an instant sauce thing. So these kind of packets are really useful, especially when they have very handy picture instructions. You should fry your pork, put in your bean sprouts, put in your sauce packet, mix it all together, and then you get that, only 100 yen. I like eating pasta. However, in Japan, it's kind of tricky to find the different shapes, pasta shapes. In Japan, if you go to the pasta section, it's kind of spaghetti, 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 spaghetti. Tiny little macaroni! Now this is specifically called salad macaroni. Now, I don't know why you would ruin perfectly good macaroni by putting it into salad, but that's what's happened here. Now, if you go to like a foreign food store, then you can find some decent pasta, but they can be more expensive or out of the way, so I tend to just, well, I eat a lot of spaghetti. Some onions. How much did all of this cost? Well, I'm going to tell you. So we've got a variety of stuff. Now, all of this came to roughly 3,000 yen. Now, the thing to be aware of is that the meats and the fish only really last for a couple of days before you have to eat them. So I'm going to go shopping again in a couple of days' time to get some more fish or meat to finish out the week. So, and of course there's other things to be taken into account. For example, I didn't buy rice today because I've got like a giant freaking bag. Rice, rice, rice! Now, I didn't really need to buy a new bag of rice every week. So there's things like that, and there's some other little like bits and pieces. So let's say for a week about 5,000 yen. And then, you know, maybe I'll go out for dinner once a week, maybe. Maybe go out for a few drinks with some friends. I might get some snacks here and there. If you budget around 7,000 yen for a week, call it 10,000 if you want to be really flamboyant and you like eating out and you like drinking beer. Because, you know, beer is quite kind of expensive. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. What kind of stuff do you buy in supermarkets in Japan? What do you do? Please let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please share, follow, like, go to all of the social media things and find us. And if you want more tales of traveling, living, and teaching, please go to wherethereteach.com. Yay! Thank you.